I apologize for the volume adjustment. Welcome. I think there's 2 copies running. Cool. Well, now that 1 copy of the game is closed, we can move on. Load. Let's get back to...
I do mean it. Earnestly. Why wouldn't I?
Ernest goes to Lisette.
Typical Capini. Isn't her family involved with the mafia or something? I wouldn't be surprised if she brought out a bat from behind her back right this moment.
Whoa. I had nearly forgotten the crowd that followed Lisette, which was mostly comprised of people that no one wanted to see on a typical school day. Bitches. Hate them. No one had the slightest idea why exactly they followed Lisette around persistently, but they labeled themselves as social equals with her.
That is out of line!
Oh crap.
Suzu comes from an honest family.
I accidentally unplugged. Like this episode is just a mess. Good.
Says the one whose family profits from political scandals.
Whew.
Yeah, your dad doesn't make anything unless he's in the court with dirty politicians.
Hey, let's all calm down for a second, alright?
Oh.
I'm sure Anderson needs some time to recuperate. I mean, what just happened? We need to give her some respect.
Oh, I see. She's pretty two-faced. Just stop. Stop acting like that already. Like you feel sorry for me.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're happy seeing me like this. You already have everything you wanted. And now seeing me like this, life couldn't get any better. Bitterness seeped into me and words started flying out of my mouth without filter. Word vomit. But, oh, fuck, I don't give a shit. She said something about, I don't care. What exactly am I to you? Just another part of your obstacle course? Is that what I am? So I looked up that there's 3 Yuri/lesbian routes, including including Suzu and Naomi, but not her. So, but there was this one third girl called, like, I forget her name, Diana or some shit, and if that's Lisette's mother, that would be fantastic. It could be hilarious. I'm sick of it, Lisette. I'm sick of all of these charades. I'm sick of you. Gasps rose from the crowd around her, and I was brought back to the school hallway. Even my friends beside me looked at me in surprise. Whoa, bitch. One girl looked like she was going to speak up, but Lisette held her hand up to stop her. There was an emotion in her face that I couldn't make out, but I could see a form of pity in her eyes. No, don't you dare pity me. I looked away from her. I didn't want to see that emotion in her eyes when she was talking to me. She didn't have the right to look at me that way. Why does Suzu look so, like just whatever about this whole thing? She could care less.
I'm sorry. I know your grandfather passing away must have really taken a toll on your emotions.
She stepped towards me and put her hands on my shoulder, giving me a tiny smile as if for old time's sake. But for some reason, I didn't feel comforted at all. Not that I was just angry at her, but the expression on her face when she leaned in close to me contorted into something complex. I'm not good at reading people. Something was different about her. I couldn't quite place my finger on it, but something about her had definitely changed.
Well, I'll be going for now. Track meet responsibilities.
Oh, of course she's in track.
See you later.
Something about Lisette made me feel uncomfortable. I wasn't just angry, but also uneasy. What was it? I had never seen her like that before. But I decided to pay no further attention to it. She continued running down the hallway with her gaggle of friends behind her. I refocused my attention to Mrs. Phillips, who was walking down the hall towards me.
Is everything alright, girls?
No, you bitch.
Nothing we couldn't handle, Mrs. P. Just a bunch of snobs.
Yeah.
Suzu, hush! It was nothing, Mrs. Phillips.
I
Water.
see. Well, Miss Anderson, please accept my condolences for your loss.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillips.
Your grandfather was a good man. He really upheld the philanthropy of his company's policies, and the money that went towards charity, too.
I know. He was amazing. I really looked up to him, and I want to be as good as he
Well,
was.
I bet you'll be as great as your grandfather.
No, I won't.
Hell yeah, she will. She'll be 10 times better.
He
than
just
her
died,
grandfather.
bitch. He just died. Would I? Oh no, this isn't their monologue. Would I really be better than my grandfather? Everyone seemed to have high expectations for me. I wanted to fuck off. I wasn't sure about that. From outside the school window, I saw a familiar blue car pull up to the curb. Undoubtedly, it was my father in the driver's seat. The person just hit me. Oh, by rights here. Well, I guess I'll see you both tomorrow.
Want us to come with you?
I hope I'm not fucking. Oh man, my waveforms are super high right now. Oh shit. Whatever. I'll turn down the gain if I need to. I don't know. I'll be good. Oh god. Hey, Dad.
Hey, honey.
As I got into the car, I noticed my father looked troubled, clutching at his steering wheel and staring straight ahead, as if something was really bothering him. He's standing in the middle of the car, which is weird.
About what happened yesterday. I'm sorry for yelling at you.
Of course you are.
Does your cheek still hurt?
No, it's nothing to worry about.
I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you. You know that you're my most precious daughter. You're all that I have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have more daughters that I should know about? Yet he couldn't bring himself to say what he could never say to me for such a long time. I always wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess even now he couldn't say it to me. I turned my head away out the window. There was no point in wanting for something that was never going to come. Daddy issues! Daddy issues! Woo! And like that, he started to drive and the conversation between us ended. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. We were taking the usual route to grandfather's house. So over the hills and through the woods. It was located within the vicinity of the school district, but it was still pretty far from the school and from where our house was. He had always lived alone. He insisted on doing things by himself, even at his age, living in such a large house. I wondered, did he pass away with no one at his size as well? It sounded so lonely and sad. Like how I'm gonna die. It was strange that he decided on living all alone in his large estate. If anything, he could have lived with us. Though he and my father probably would have given each other the silent treatment the entire time. Maybe living alone was preferable to that. I actually hadn't visited him for quite a while. Visits to his house were most frequent when I was a child, and I'd grown up long since then. Shut the fuck up, Dolly! Shut up! Well, the rest of the I should probably cut this off. Until next time.